Hola, damas y caballeros, bienvenidos a otro episodio de Live Stream Classes con Profe Don Omar. Here we have today, I don't even know if you realize this, today we have made our transition. I said that a change would come here, and we are transitioning as we go into 2023. We've moved the name from Habla Conmigo TV. We are now known as Speak Spanish Now, because that's what we want to get across and want to convey to you to make sure you are on the way to speaking Spanish right now. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this, and we are talking about wants and desires. Wants and desires. Okay, so we're going to jump in here. Y ahora tenemos el calentamiento. You know how we do, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to jump in with a quick little warm up here. Okay. And so the warm up will consist of what we see here. Elige la forma correcta del verbo ser o estar, o la forma correcta del verbo hablar. All right. So what we have here are the possibilities for your answers here. All right. So, mis amigos, blank, atléticos. Número dos, Javier y Joaquín, blank en el supermercado. Y número tres, Susana, blank con su amiga Rafaela. Y número cuatro, Susana, Rafaela y yo, blank por teléfono. Okay, so we want you to find out, are we using it? Number one and number two, I kind of helped you out here. For some people, we're helping you out. Some of you already know what this may be, but I do want to give you a hint here that you can utilize. So it would either be son o usted, son or están, número uno y número dos. And then in número tres, going back to what we have been talking about with las conjugaciones del verbo hablar. All right. So the conjugations of the verb hablar, knowing which form that you need here, that is what I want you to put into place in the blank. Okay. So we want to make sure that you are aware of which one you want to use. Okay. So we'll give you a second there to figure those out. And then I'm going to show you the answers so that you can see what we have going on. Okay. So we'll definitely show you that. All right. So aquí tenemos mis amigos blank atléticos. Mis amigos son atléticos. My friends are athletic. So we're talking about giving characteristics, describing them. Javier y Joaquín están en el supermercado, right? We're talking about location. And if you remember that location goes with our acronym LEFT, right? So L being location, están, all right? And then son, remember that comes from our acronym doctor, right? So characteristics, to see for characteristics, my friends are athletic. Javier y Joaquín are in the supermarket, talking about location. Número tres, Susana habla con su amiga Rafaela. Susana is talking, or Susana talks with her friend Rafaela. Y número cuatro, Susana, Rafaela, and I. Okay, so we're including ourselves in that one. Rafaela, Susana, and I are talking on the phone or talk on the phone. All right. So we definitely have those as options. Okay. Vamos a continuar. Aquí tenemos. Now, this particular class, I'm going to give you two of the older words that we've been working with as far as our words of the day. So we've got la palabra vieja. The first one, well, from maybe two classes ago. Aquí tenemos to eat, right? To eat. All right. So in inglés, ¿qué significa to eat? Tenemos comer, ¿verdad? Comer. All right. También tenemos to want. This is what we'll be dealing with today. This is what we're talking about. To want. Aquí tenemos el verbo querer. Right? El verbo querer. Okay. So, la palabra de hoy, our word for today. This is the new word for today. Aquí tenemos to live. Right? To live. En inglés, tenemos vivir. All right? We've got vivir, to live. Okay, so make sure you add that to your notebook or your toolbox that you are working with. Okay, y también tenemos our sabías. All right, did you know? We've got our did you know situation here. Okay, sabías. So querer is one of the top 5 most useful Spanish verbs. All right. Querer is one of the top 5 most useful Spanish verbs. And we're going to show you how to utilize this today. There are many different ways for us to use it. Tip number 1. Okay. Tip number 1 here. Aquí tenemos el verbo querer. All right. We've got to know how to conjugate it. That's our first tip. You've got to know when we talk about conjugating. Remember, conjugating just simply means that we want to give you the different forms of the verb. All right. We want to give you the different forms of the verb. So aquí tenemos I want, right? I want. Y en español tenemos yo quiero, right? I want. You want. Tú quieres. Okay. And we're going to talk about this color-coded and underlined situation momentarily. He or she wants, or you formal want. Remember that tú quieres is the familiar way, all right, to talk about what you want. And remember, when we say familiar, we are discussing being with a person that you know, like a family member, a friend, or even somebody younger than us. That's when we're using tú quieres, all right? He or she wants, or you want formal. Remember, you want in this situation would be with somebody older than you, somebody you don't know, you met them for the first time, or someone you want to show respect to. That is when we would use usted quiere. All right, aquí tenemos él, ella, usted quiere. Remember, he or she wants, or you formal want. All right, para nosotros. Nosotros queremos. We want. All right. We want. Nosotros queremos. Y la última forma, aquí tenemos ellos, ellas, or ustedes quieren. Okay. Remember that I put that at sign in there or ampersand just so that you'll know that it can be masculina or femenina. All right. So it can be, this word can be masculine or feminine. Ellos or ellas, they want, and then ustedes quieren, y'all want. Okay, so let's talk about the color-coded and the underlined situation right here. So if you look at our root of our verb, right, the basic form of the verb, the infinitive, we look back up here, we see that this E is in the infinitive or the basic form, right? Well, when we go to conjugate it, there's 2 things that are popping off right here. First off, we're taking the ending off, or the root, right? We're taking the root off. All right. And then we're going to use and add our different endings. That's what we call conjugating, right? So we're going to add our endings. For the E, though, we have what we call a stem change, also known as querer is one of the most original boot verbs or stem changing verbs. So we want to make sure that you understand what's happening right here. It helps us to work with pronunciation of the verb, and it actually differentiates itself from Portuguese. All right. If you know Portuguese, you know that the yo form here would be eu quero, right? Eu quero, which would be Quero. However, in Espanol, we have this stem change here where we change the E in the infinitive to IE. And we call it a boot verb because it happens in all forms except the nosotros form. And I'll get into more specifics, even drawing and animating a boot here. And we'll talk about that in a later class. But for right now, all we are focusing in on is the stem change that's occurring. And make sure you know, this is a note that's worthy of writing down. we need to make sure we remember that we have to do the stem change in all of the forms except the nosotros form. I want you to make sure you take that with you today. All right. If you don't take anything else, you have to change this E to an IE. Make sure you put that to memory, jot it down, write it on a sticky note, whatever you have to do. But you've got to make sure that you remember to put this E to IE stem change right here. We got to change that. All right. So vamos a repetir las palabras que tenemos aquí. We're going to repeat the words that we have right here. All right. Yo quiero, tú quieres, él, ella, usted quiere. All right. Quiero, quieres, quiere. Queremos. Okay. Queremos, quieren. And all of these mean a form of want, right? And so we're going to put it into action in the next couple of tips here. All right. Tip 2. Okay. Tip 2 coming at you live and direct. We want to use querer with desires. All right. Desires of your heart. We want to use querer with desires. Let's take a look. Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right. If you're around my age, this is a flashback Friday for you. Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right. We had a little chihuahua that was on TV, used to roll through cities and then roll up on people and tell them, Yo quiero Taco Bell. Right. And all we're saying here is this isn't a desire. This is something that I want. Right. Yo quiero Taco Bell. I want Taco Bell. Right. Okay. Let's get that down. Make sure you understand that. I want. Notice that we have our stem change and we have our conjugated form to match with yo. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, do I have to include the word yo? Not necessarily. It's totally up to you. This is your opportunity to speak the way you want to speak when you're speaking Spanish. You can simply say quiero Taco Bell or yo quiero Taco Bell. It's either or. Both are correct. In Spanish, we don't have to follow the rules that we follow in English, where we have to identify the subject, right? We don't have to in Spanish. We do that to help us out in the learning phase. But after a while, we can just simply look at our conjugated form of the verb. There's no other form of the verb in the present tense that looks like quiero because we have this O in the end. So I know that quiero goes with yo. So I don't have to include it. Quiero Taco Bell. I want Taco Bell. All right. But this also helps. We are doing like a 2-in-1 step here. We're identifying our subject and we are conjugating the verb, right? In just this one form. Let's take a look at the next one. Tú quieres mucho para Navidad. All right. Now I threw that pa in there. We're going to work from right to left here. Pa is like a shortened version of the word para. If you've ever encountered a Spanish speaker or a native speaker, and you might say, well, what is pa? What do they mean by that pa, right? Pa is para. It's just shortened, all right? And oftentimes you utilize it with people that you are familiar with, okay? You wouldn't be giving a speech and use pa, okay? Not in a formal situation. This is a more informal situation. All right, so let's take a look. Aquí tenemos el verbo querer en la forma de tú. 2 ways to identify this. Make sure you got your stem change first and foremost. But we can identify by the ending, es. We know that the to form of querer is quieres. It ends in es, okay? So we can say, tú quieres mucho para Navidad, or tú quieres mucho para Navidad, if you want to be more formal. However, we can also drop the to and simply just say, quieres mucho para Navidad. All right. You want a lot for Navidad, Christmas, right? You want a lot for Christmas. Okay. Ella quiere un nuevo árbol de Navidad. All right. Ella quiere un nuevo árbol de Navidad. She wants a new Christmas tree. All right. She wants a new Christmas tree. So, once again, now, this is one of those situations where you have to make sure you do clarify the subject. Okay. Why? Well, if we go back to the chart in tip number 1, we saw that when we had quiere, tenemos 3 sujetos. All right. It could be he, It could be she, or it could be you formal. If we drop this ella, and it just says quiere un nuevo árbol de Navidad, we don't know if you're talking about he wants a new Christmas tree, she wants a new Christmas tree, or you, and I don't know you perhaps, or you might be older and I'm going to show you some respect here. I might say you want a new Christmas tree. I wouldn't know that if we dropped the subject off in this particular situation. All right. Hey, no worries, senor. I understand. It's Friday. We got to get the week wrapped up. No worries. All right. We'll definitely be here in the replay, so you can definitely check it out. All right. Ella quiere un nuevo árbol de Navidad. All right. So she wants a new Christmas tree. We have to have our subject. All right. We have to have our subject included in this particular situation. Third person, just think third person singular. All right. Or third person plural. You're going to have to include your subject. All right. That's why we have ella, she. Okay. Vamos a continuar. Tip número 3. All right. We've got consejo número 3. Tip number 3. What do we got here? Express love for family and friends. This is super important. Okay. Because I don't want you out here in these Spanish streets utilizing, te amo, mi amigo. All right, people looking around, looking at, what's going on with this little relationship, right? We want to make sure we're using the right words, okay? You out here in these streets telling, te amo, señorita, te amo, chiquita. We don't want you just using te amo, right? That might be the first one that we learned, but it's not correct. It's not the right one to be using, okay? That's more of, te amo is more of a romantic version of love, okay? So we want to make sure we're using the right ones here. So let's take a look. Aquí tenemos yo te quiero. Yo te quiero. I love you. But this is more of a type of love where you are showing your love for someone. Like you appreciate them so much. Or this is a friendship type or a family type of love. It's not a romantic type of love. I love you. Yo te quiero. Okay. Oh, in our situation, remember, we talked about this. Do I have to use yo? Or can I drop that off? Right. So we could definitely drop it off and say, te quiero. All right. Te quiero. I love you. It still means the same thing as yo te quiero. They're the same. How do we know it's yo? We look at the ending right here, right? Yo te quiero or te quiero. I know that quiero is a yo form conjugation, right? And so that's why I don't necessarily need that. Let's look at the next one here. La próxima oración. Aquí tenemos él la quiere. Let's change that really quickly. Él la quiere. I don't know why we have quieres right there. Él la quiere. Okay. He loves her, right? As a friend. Right? Or as a cousin, as a sister. Él la quiere. As his mother, whatever. Okay? He loves her. Él la quiere. Y aquí tenemos, cuánto te quiero, abuelo. Cuánto te quiero, abuelo. How much I love you, grandfather, right? Or I love you so much, or how much I love you, basically is the expression that you are utilizing right here. All right. Cuánto te quiero, abuelo. Okay. Y también tenemos consejo número 4, tip number 4. We've got 5 tips here, right here, ladies and gentlemen, for you. Stay tuned to the 5th tip. This is probably the best tip to get you into a conversation, and I like what we call it there. So stay tuned for that. This is a good one when you're traveling outside of the country, or you're in a conversation right here at home in the States. If you happen to be in the United States or whatever country you are in, and you happen to get into a conversation with a Spanish speaker, I want you to mean what you say. What do we mean by that? Okay, double entendre right there. All right, so ¿qué quieres decir? What we're talking about when we use this with the verb decir, jot this down. Decir significa to say or to tell. All right, to say or to tell. So ¿qué quieres decir? What do you mean? That's the transition it takes on when you add it with the verb querer. What do you mean? ¿Qué quieres decir? All right. ¿Qué quieres decir? What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? How do we know this is you? Well, we look at the ending, right? Remember in our conjugation chart in tip number 1. All right. And if you missed tip number 1, you can always go back to the replay and check it out at the very beginning where we gave you all todas las formas del verbo querer. You've got all the forms of the verb querer. This matches up with la forma de tú. All right. La forma de tú. Quieres. Oh, so tú, right? So, ¿qué quieres decir? Right? What do you mean? Let's look at la próxima. Lo que quiero decir es, this is a little like conjunction or like a way that I just want to add this in before. This is the preface of what I'm about to say. Lo que quiero decir es blah, blah, blah. What I mean to say is, like if you got to give further clarification on something that you're talking about. Lo que quiero decir es, what I mean to say, all right? What I mean to say is blah, blah, blah. And then you would go on with your statement. Okay. Always when we're combining querer or una forma del verbo querer, a form of querer with the infinitive form of decir, they both mean or they both signify mean or to mean something in español. All right. La pregunta aquí, ¿sabe lo que quiero decir? You know what I mean? Like a question wise, you want to say it? ¿Sabes lo que quiero decir? ¿Sabes lo que quiero decir? Do you know what I mean? Right? You know how we say that. You know what I mean? Like, ¿sabes lo que quiero decir? You know what I mean? Okay, so make sure you add that one to your toolbox as well. These are good phrases just to kind of jump into a conversation with, all right? If you've got to, clarify some stuff. All right, this is what we've been waiting on, tip number 5. Okay, so the title of tip number 5 is fairly different. All right, we're calling it double stack, stack cheddar, stacking. Okay, you might fall into one of those 3 categories right there. Okay, double stack, stack cheddar, or stacking. I don't know which one you fall into. I'm like 2 out of 3 here. All right, if you know what stacking is, hey, shout out to you for being on the channel. But double stack, all right, like Wendy's, they stack that patty onto another patty with some cheese. All right, stack cheddar, we're talking about money, right? And then stacking, that's just for some people that we want to include everybody. We want everybody to learn the Spanish here. All right, so take a look. What are we talking about when we say double stack, stacking, or stacking cheddar? What are we talking about? So take a look here. Ella quiere preparar los polvorones. All right. And I'm using a lot of Christmas terminology because the next video that we've got popping off is going to be about learning about how we utilize or how do we take the things that we talk about in Christmas and how they correlate to Christmas in Latin America. Okay. So we will be adding that for you. All right. Giving you a couple things to remember and some vocab with regards to Navidad, la Navidad. Okay, so ella quiere preparar los polvorones. Los polvorones are like a type of galleta, a type of cookie. Okay, so you can definitely check those out. Google it. Polvorones. The singular form is polvoron. All right, without the ES on it. All right, let's take a look at double stack, stack cheddar, or stacking. All we're doing when we talk about stacking here is we're taking the verb querer and stacking on another verb in the infinitive form. All right, so ella quiere preparar, she wants to prepare. Okay, ella quiere preparar, she wants to prepare. Ella quiere preparar los polvorones, she wants to prepare polvorones, which is a type of cookie. All right, Christmas time cookie. Okay, aquí tenemos, nosotros queremos abrir los regalos. Nosotros queremos abrir los regalos. We want to open gifts. All right. We want to open gifts. Nosotros queremos abrir los regalos. All right. We want to open gifts. All right. Stacking. Queremos abrir. We got a little stack action going on right here. We stack this queremos on top of abrir right here in the actual video. Didn't even realize I did that. All right. But we're stacking right here. All right. Double stack the verbs up. Okay. Y aquí tenemos, ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. All right. Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. All right. She wants to go to mass. All right. And we'll talk about what type of mass, la misa de gallo is, we're talking about mass like for los católicos, right? For the Catholics. Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. She wants to go to mass. All right. Stacking the verb querer, or not she, lo siento. Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. They want to go to mass. All right. They want to go to mass. So we're taking quieren and stacking it on top of the verb ir, which is to go. Make sure you put that in your notes as well. All right. They want to go to mass. All right. So aquí tenemos una sección de bono. All right. We've got a bonus section here. Preguntas posibles. All right. So take a look here. Los ejemplos. These are some oldies but goodies, but oftentimes they need to be reviewed. ¿Qué quieres escuchar? ¿Qué quieres escuchar? All right. You should know que en quieres. ¿Qué quieres escuchar? I'm giving you the clue right here. All right. Yo quiero escuchar música. O podemos decir, quiero escuchar música. All right. Either way, remember we said that it could go either way here. Just know that quiero is the conjugated form in the yo form. ¿Quieres bailar? All right. ¿Quieres bailar? Aquí tenemos la pista. Here we have the clue. Sí, quiero bailar. All right. Sí, quiero bailar. ¿Qué quieres comer? ¿Qué quieres comer? Quiero comer hamburguesas con queso. All right. Quiero comer hamburguesa con queso. All right. I want to eat a cheeseburger. All right. Hamburger with cheese. ¿Quieres una botella de agua? Sí, quiero una botella de agua. Okay. ¿Quieres una botella de agua? Do you want a bottle of water or a bottled water? Right? Yes, I want a bottle of water. ¿Qué quieres hacer? ¿Qué quieres hacer? What do you want to do? ¿Qué quieres hacer? Quiero ver YouTube. Right? Quiero ver YouTube. All right, so usamos la pregunta que no quieres. We've got the negative aspect. Always want to be able to give you the affirmative and the negative. So somebody might say, ¿qué no quieres hacer? Right? What do you not want to do? All right. Or you might get it in this situation. ¿No quiere comer una hamburguesa con queso? You don't want to eat a cheeseburger? ¿No quieres comer, whatever it is that you don't want to eat? Oh, ¿no quiere la pizza? ¿No quiere la pizza? You don't want pizza? So we can use no quieres with a noun in the infinitive form. We're stacking cheddar, right? Stacking. Or you can use no quieres with a noun. Okay, so you can use no quieres with an infinitive. Sorry. No quieres with an infinitive, which we were stacking there. Or you can use no quieres con un sustantivo, which is a noun, which was pizza in our example. Okay. Y aquí tenemos la otra pregunta. Usando la forma negativa, using the negative form of comprar. ¿Qué no quieres comprar? Right? ¿Qué no quieres comprar? What do you not want to buy? Right? No quiero comprar verduras. No quiero comprar verduras. Right? O también podemos decir, yo no quiero comprar verduras. We can also say that. It doesn't matter which one you use. All right. ¿No quiere comer hamburguesas con queso? All right. ¿No quieres comer hamburguesas con queso? No, no quiero comer hamburguesas con queso. Right? No, I don't want to eat cheeseburgers. Right? All right. What about this? ¿No quieres pizza? No quieres pizza. You don't want pizza? No. Yo quiero dos tacos. Right? No, yo quiero dos tacos. No, I want 2 tacos, right? All right, so here are some other questions that you might be able to see. We're stacking these, all right? So I want to give you an example, and then some of these might just be regular questions. Cuando, we're using our interrogatives, those question words that we reviewed a couple of weeks back. Cuando quieres salir con amigos? All right, cuando quieres salir con amigos? When do you want to go out with friends? All right. ¿Qué quieres hacer mañana? ¿Qué quieres hacer mañana? What do you want to do tomorrow? So I want you to start adding these phrases here because this is how you develop your language skills, right? I'm giving you small chunks of phrases, and we're talking about stacking, right? Double stack, stacking, stack cheddar. We're stacking that querer on top of another verb. How do we know it's a verb? Well, remember, we identify a verb by AR, ER, or IR, and here we have an IR verb. This is a verb phrase. All right. Hacer mañana. ER ends in ER, verb phrase. All right. So make sure you remember that. What do you want to do tomorrow? ¿Qué quieres hacer mañana? Y aquí tenemos, ¿quieres un taco o burrito? ¿Quieres un taco o burrito? All right. Do you want a taco or burrito? All right. Do you want a taco or burrito? Okay. Do you want a taco or burrito? Y la última pregunta. ¿No quieren ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde? ¿No quieren ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde? Y'all don't want to go to the beach this afternoon? Right, that's the very southern way in me. But you all don't want to go to the beach this afternoon? Okay. Those are some particular ways that you can utilize querer in a question format. Okay, so recuerda la palabra de hoy. Remember the word from today, which is to live. Don't forget this. We are going to be traveling into another class episode utilizing IR verbs. And the first one that we will present will be el verbo vivir, to live. We're also going to use it today in a little practice. So we're not going to be working with speaking yet. Today we'll focus on listening. Okay, we'll focus on listening. All right. And of course, you've been reading all day. Hopefully, you've been writing this down so that you can take it with you to study and practice. If not, run it back from the beginning and get this jotted down. Okay. This is something that you can go over and review at a later date. All right. So aquí tenemos la práctica. This is where we have the practice, damas y caballeros. I want you to take a look at this here for a second. I want you to say, let me look at these. Let me look at these answer choices. All right. So it says, based on what you hear, select the best possible answer. Okay. Based on what you hear, I want you to select the best possible answer. Okay. Here we go. And I want you to jot these down. Okay, jot these down. And then what would be great is add these to the comment section, right? Put your answers in the comment section when you finish the video here. You can definitely add these to the comment section, and we'd like to see if you've got the right answers or not, okay? We want to see if you've got the right answers or not. Número uno. ¿Qué quieres comer? ¿Qué quieres comer? ¿Qué quieres comer? Okay. ¿Qué quieres comer? All right. Número 2. ¿Dónde quieres vivir? ¿Dónde quieres vivir? Okay. Número 3. ¿Quieres abrir tus regalos ahora? Now, ahora, o más tarde, later. ¿Quieres abrir tus regalos ahora o más tarde? Y número 4. I want you to give me a response to this one. What would be the best possible way to respond to this statement here? This is not a question, it is a statement. No quieres comer pizza. Or we could use it as a question. No quieres comer pizza? Yeah, let's use it as a question. No quieres comer pizza? Okay. Y número 5, ¿verdad? Número 5. Sí, número 5. ¿Quieres una botella de agua? ¿Quieres una botella de agua? Make sure you add your answers, A, B, C, D, or E. Just add your answers to the comment section so that I can check those out to see what you came up with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you remember that we do have this book available, our ebook, 8 Strategies to Becoming a Better Spanish Speaker in 30 Days or Less. I implore you to pick up a copy of this. You can find the link in the description, or you can find it on my channel available for you. But it will be available in the description once this is able to populate onto YouTube completely. But this provides you with some strategies that I utilize to with my clients to help them become fluent as quickly as possible. Okay, so some of the strategies in here, and it also has some introductory level classes. It's got four introductory levels lessons included with the 8 strategies. So you're getting 12 things in this one book. It's over 80% off right now on Amazon. So make sure you get a copy of that. On the next episode, we'll be talking about IR verbs along with utilizing everything that we've been talking about thus far. All right. So make sure you come prepared for that. And lastly, we want to make sure you know today was about our wants, el verbo querer. All right. We want to make sure you join us next class. Gracias por su tiempo. Soy Profe Don Omar. Nos vemos.